Roxana, please.
If I may add, we do have a mechanism that we have already set in place, and this is the Innovative Medicine Initiative. We do have one project in this area in IMI, and now we are working together with the industry on their proposal for Horizon 2020 for a new public-private partnership in this area of medical research. Call it IMI2 if you wish, or whatever it may be. And if you are looking at the content of the proposal, neurodegenerative diseases have a very big place there. The strategic research agenda obviously will have to be determined for any new initiative, but there is a realization, as Professor Wagner was mentioning, that is only through these types of collaborations that we can advance, that we can have, in fact, the prophylactic approaches that we need, the new drugs that we need, and so on and so forth. So there is a desire to work with the public partners, and we are in the mode of trying to foster those partnerships and enhance the cooperations to come.
Can I just add 3 quick points on that? I mean, firstly, the joint programming agenda has identified the need to standardise and harmonise approaches, and a key part of that is to provide a platform for industry to engage with, which we know is very important. Secondly, there is a great opportunity with industry and big pharma increasingly outsourcing into the academic sector, and this isn't a changed agenda at the moment, which we have to make sure we can promote that interface. And the idea of the medicines chest with companies sharing compounds and so on is already starting to happen. And thirdly, we need to think beyond biopharma and the biomedical sector. There are large companies in information technology, the Microsofts, Googles of this world, who are increasingly interested in health informatics, and that's another agenda that we need to tap into.
Yes, please.
My name is Magda Giorati. I'm a professor of neurology in Greece. I'm very much interested in developing a national research net in Greece, and I believe that there are many scientists who are working on neurodegenerative diseases all over Greece. So I would like to ask if there are any models, good models, which are working in such a way in Europe. And I would like to hear about these models in order to start working as these excellent models of national nets in Europe in order to follow them. And I believe that there are also other countries which would like to have national nets of research all over Europe.
Yes, there are models. There's an Irish model, there's a Swedish model, there's a Dutch model, and currently I think Denmark is working on a model. They all have various variations and different ways of doing it slightly. In principle, it involves a process of engagement with the community to shape where the strengths lie in the country, where the research capability exists, what strengths those abilities exist within those strengths, and also then shaping where and how that country can actually develop and grow its capacity or focus its research so that it actually participates then or sees where it can participate in the European agenda. We have built into the Jump Ahead initiative, which is the funding mechanism we have at the moment for funding what we're doing currently, some resources to help countries do that, and we would be more than happy to sit and talk with you and to help you and sort of give you some guidance in that regard. And we have some templates, and we can also provide a little bit of support in helping you to do that. So we would be more than happy to talk to you afterwards about that. And Derek Mitchell, who's been organising all of this event, would be more than happy to talk to you.
Yes, please.
My name is Stein Lorenzen, and I'm coming from the Nansen Neuroscience Network, which is a non-profit member organization based in Norway. We have industry and academia as members, more than 40 members, and we try to promote innovation and also collaboration within neuroscience. Many of our members are very interested in this this excellent program, but the challenge is to find collaborating partners to build a consortia. We, even as an organization that is quite young and is not well known, have been approached by different companies and academic groups throughout Europe to ask, do you know anybody who can help us with this and that type of expertise? So the question to you is, do you have any plans to quickly make a system and how you can facilitate people finding each other to build this consortia? Because this is probably one of the most important tools for success. And if you're interested, we may be able to give you a hand in this.
Yeah, as part of the mapping and Rob, if you can make a comment on this.
Yes, well, the most immediate action to help you is that today the mapping exercise that we've undertaken is launched as a publicly searchable database on the internet. So there you will find the details of all of the major programs in terms of PIs, abstracts of research and so on. The bioresources are listed, population cohorts, biobanks, etc., with details of the activities and the contact points. And this is all searchable by keywords as well. So I think that's a very important platform for that sort of work. We also recognise that during the development of the strategic research agenda, the workshops that we held were very successful and brought a lot of thinking that sometimes only meets occasionally in academic meetings around the globe. And we brought a new constellation to that. And there is interest in rolling out some sort of program of continued focused networking meetings as we develop this agenda. So I think if you put those 2 points together, and the database, I should say, is open to other organisations, whether commercially or research charities and regional organisations, to add their data into to create a better database as we go forward.
Other question? Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Bernali Haas with One Line for Research, and you mentioned an interest in transnational partnerships. So I'm wondering how you envisage the engagement of other countries, particularly the United States and such another.
That's an excellent point. So we have prepared for now 6 months of documents relating the way that third countries, not from Europe, can join the actions. And maybe you present some point on this?
Yes, we are very close to launching an actual policy in this area, and it will envisage a situation where we will welcome individual country participation to the various activities and various initiatives on an ongoing basis and on a choice basis. Obviously, we will want to see that those participations benefit the overall objective of the particular initiative, but we've already demonstrated that in the other 2 calls that we have had so far, where there has been international participation. We also envisage that that will be taken to another level, and that countries will have the opportunity to become members or involved at the membership and management board level of the JPND initiative. And we're just about finalising the terms and conditions of that, if you like, the way it would actually work and the structure of that. And we would hope to launch that in the next couple of weeks. With the view to encouraging our objective here is to encourage the participation of other countries, third countries, in the initiative, and to enable them to participate in helping to shape the agenda and actually be associated with the agenda as a whole. So that it is a structured approach. Ultimately, obviously, the integrity of it being a European member state initiative has to be maintained, because ultimately that's what it is, but we do see ourselves as being open and collaborative with other participating countries.
And just on the scientific side of things, I mean, as we undertake the implementation of the strategy and focus down onto specific activities, obviously we have working groups looking at the landscape and a scientific advisory board to advise us, and we need to take account of those international initiatives that are out there that are either existing or in development that we would need to specifically link to So this is about looking globally, not just around a focused region.
Yes, my name is Jean Schoen and I'm a neurologist at the University of Liège. And representing Vladimir Hashinsky, who is the president of the World Federation of Neurology. I just want to pick up on what has been said in the question and answer about partnership, extending the program. I think everybody has to congratulate you on the initiative. And I'm sure, although I'm not in the management committee of the World Federation of Neurology, and I do not know if you had any contacts already with them, but I'm sure that the World Federation of Neurology can be an interesting partner in this endeavor. It doesn't have a lot of financial resources, but it has a number of person resources and resources among hundreds of neurology societies all over the world, including in emerging countries. And I think a program like this would benefit from studies, for example, many in the clinical area, studies in the emerging countries about environmental influences and also maybe genetic influences. I'm sure that the World Federation of Neurology would be happy, more than happy, to help you and be a partner if you see some points that can be of utility for the program.
Thank you for this comment. Thomas?
We welcome the opportunity to have discussions and engage, absolutely.
And that asks the question of developing countries. The increase of life expectancy in these countries will be a major challenge for the next 20 or 30 years in terms of absolute number of cases, which may be concentrated in these populations. That's important.